now, Hermes! Hello, gals, blokes, and all other folks. My name is Mortius, and today we are here with Hadestown. This has been long overdue. I had people vote on this musical versus two others months ago when I was just catching up with Epic the Musical for the first time I caught up with it, and 6 just barely beat out Hadestown. And I was like, all right, Hadestown, you'll get your time. And then some other things kept happening. More Epic the Musical kept coming out. Casper and I started doing our own thing on a new channel, which, by the way, if you haven't seen, please go support Open Arms Reactions. Basically, a million things happened that led to my attention being pulled away from potential future series, and also me getting a little bit burnt out for a while, to be honest. I bumped things down to 1 less video a week for a bit. It was a whole thing. But none of that matters because now the long overdue start of Hadestown is here. I'm so, it probably feels like I'm playing this up for the camera because I know I am a big personality on screen. I'm a big personality in real life, but I amplify it even more on screen. And especially in my intros, because you gotta get the clicks fast. But even if my volume and tone of voice might be slightly over-exaggerated, I cannot express to you how much my excitement isn't right now. I am not playing this up for the camera. I have been waiting for this for so long, and I'm just so thrilled to get into it. So, you may notice that unlike most of my intros, I haven't told you what songs I'm doing yet. That's because I'm not sure, because I have no idea how much I'm going to actually pause and talk in this show, so I don't know how much I'm going to get through in this first video. Obviously, if you've looked at the thumbnail or the title, you probably know the answer, but I don't yet. So, let's find out together. We are hopping into Hadestown. Before we kind of get into it, I want to just cover what I know about this show so far, which really is not much. Of course, I know it is Greek mythology based. I know that some significant players in the story are Orpheus and Eurydice. That's, I think, the only characters I actually know in this entire show, except obviously assuming that Hades is going to be in it. But we all know what happens when you assume Hades is going to be in something. I really don't know much. Like I said, Orpheus and Eurydice are for sure going to be in this, and I know just the "Wait for me, dun 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 dun, wait," but not even anything else from it. I might have heard more of it once upon a time, but it is not stuck in my head, and I only know that one part. So musically, storily, characterily, I'm sticking with it now, I know extraordinarily little about this. So, no spoilers. And saying, oh, he likes this, oh, he's not gonna have a fun time with this song, that's a spoiler. I don't care how old these stories are, that's still a spoiler. You have to understand, if you like these videos and you appreciate the value of a blind reaction, stop making them less blind. That's my soapbox for now. The type of people leaving those comments probably don't even make it this far into an intro anyway, so I don't know why I'm bothering, but all of that to say, I need to stop yapping, and I need to get into this. Road to Hades. Let's go. The animatic we are checking out is by Murky Mosito. I wanted to make sure I gave that credit. Now we're actually getting started. I have never had my expectations so immediately wrong before. Like, what is this intro? Oh, I was not expecting this at all. Fascinating. What an interesting way to start. Am I right? The patrons know. I need the YouTube audience to understand that I flashed forward to just a random frame of like a sassy dude in a blue jacket so that Mason could sync correctly. For those of you who are new to the channel, hi, Mason is my editor. Say hi, Mason.
Hi, Mason.
Good job. I just flashed to a quick frame randomly, like towards like the 30-second mark, and saw a sassy man in a blue coat, and I was like, I love him already. He's so sassy. I wonder if that's Hermes. You're fabulous, whoever you are. I'm hoping it's Hermes. And now I see the... Not Arquebus, right? Or is it Arquebus? Shoot. Oh, what's that thing called? Fake fan. Ooh. If it's not an Arquebus, which I don't think it is, tell them what it is, Mason. But in the same color as that same blue, is this actually Hermes to start? I'm going to be so proud of myself for that prediction if it is.
Chugga 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 chugga. Once upon a time there was a railroad line. Don't I swear, brother, don't I swear? It was the road to hell. It was hard times.
Wait, hold on. What was that? There was some text. I get tired of paint his clothes. And this is the frame, by the way, that I was like, oh, I love this sassy gentleman. I hope it's Hermes. What an interesting tonality. Like, I was truly, so truly not expecting this at all. Like, wow. No, this is really, really, really good. But not, like, the tone, like... Don't
I swear, brother, don't I swear?
Don't ask where, brother, don't ask why. Like, it's so, like, nasal, it's so jazzy, but so... This is crazy.
It was the road to hell. It was hard times. It was a world of gods and man. It's an old song. It's an old song. It's an old tale from way back when. It's an old song. It's an old song.
This is like halfway between, and I know like these two things come generally from the same culture, so it kind of makes sense. But this feels like somewhere between like jazz and gospel choir. This is wild.
And we're gonna sing it again.
Is this version of like the underworld inspired, like just like New Orleans inspired? New Orleans inspired?
Guys and men, alright. We got some guys in the house tonight. See, on the road to hell there was a railroad line, and there were 3 old women all dressed the same.
Hello, Fates. This is important. If you haven't seen my Epic the Musical reactions, you will know that I, like many other non-straight theatery adjacent kids my age, know exactly one source of Greek mythology. Percy Jackson. I am very familiar with many of the Greek mythology stories as represented through the Percy Jackson franchise, but I was never one who really sought out those stories otherwise. So I found myself a lot more just learning about it through Percy Jackson. So if I have like weirdly inconsistent knowledge, like, yes, those are the Fates, but I don't know about this specific story with them, that's because I know about the string and the Fates from Percy Jackson, but you get it.
And they was always singing in the back of your mind, everybody meets the Fates. And on the road to hell there was a railroad line, and the lady stepping off a train.
Persephone?
With a suitcase full of summertime.
Yup.
Persephone by name.
So they're just I wonder if this is like essentially character introduction. I mean, obviously to an extent it is, but essentially like these are going to be the important players. Like this is essentially like introducing the cast and characters to the audience in a live setting. Whoa!
Ride that train. Ride that train. If you ride that train. Ride that train. If you ride that train to the end of the line. Where the sun don't shine and it's always shady. Gods. Oh right, almost forgot. On the road to hell there was a railroad station.
Karen?
A man with feathers on his feet.
Oh, no, never mind, sorry.
Who could help you to your final destination? Mr. Hermes! That's me!
Oh, okay. Oh, I got so nervous. I was like, wait, he's introducing Hermes? Am I wrong? No, Mr. Hermes, that's me. Okay, whoo! Got a little nervous. I was having my own Hades moment there.
See, someone's got to tell the tale. Whether or not it turns out well, maybe it will turn out this time. On the road to hell, on the railroad line. It's a sad song. Sad song. It's a sad tale. It's a tragedy. It's a sad song. Sad song. I'm gonna sing it anyway. Come on.
Don't actually answer this question in the comments, but I'm really curious because I know the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice is a tragedy. I am familiar with it conceptually. But like, I'm really curious if this whole show is supposed to be a tragedy or if it contains tragedy, but at the same time, like still is going to wrap up in a satisfying way, or if it's actually supposed to be a tragedy at the very end. I'm very curious.
Now not everyone gets to be a god. And don't forget that times are hard. Hard times in the world of men. Let me introduce you to a few of them. You can tip your hats and your wallets. Brothers and sisters, boys and girls, to the hardest working chorus in the God's almighty world. And working just as hard for you. Let's see what this crew can do.
Cool. I'm so curious, are they like gesturing down to the orchestra pit like in the show? Or are these instrumentalists actually on stage? Because that would be a crazy cool choice. If you actually had people providing instrumentation on stage in a show like this, that would be so fun. I actually hope that's what they do.
On the road to hell there was a railroad line.
I'm really curious. It's a very repeated motif. The road to hell, there was a railroad line. Super, super repeated motif. So what I'm super curious about then, kind of in return, is if that's going to be a repeated motif throughout the show. That's like my big curiosity, because I feel like they're really trying to establish either or the there was a railroad line, or the like one of those. I feel like they wouldn't be doing it so much if they weren't trying to establish in the audience's mind that it's recurring. Or maybe I'm just going crazy and I'm overthinking the structure of the musical, because right now we're reacting to Epic and Hamilton, where nothing is done for no reason and everything has some kind of like secret like theme behind it, and maybe I'm madly overthinking it. Who knows?
And a poor boy working on a song. His mama was a friend of the song. His mama was
La 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 la. Already love their voice. Who is this?
a friend of mine. And this boy was a musician on the railroad line, on the road.
Musician, so is this Orpheus?
You might say the boy was touched. Cause he was touched by the gods themselves. Give it up for Orpheus. Orpheus.
He's so little. is this long before the Orpheus Eurydice story? Or are they way younger in the original tragedy than I knew they were? Because that's a baby.
There was one more soul on this road. Girl, come on in from the cold. On the railroad line, on the road to hell. There was a young girl looking for something to eat.
Wait.
Brother, thus begins the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice.
That's the only other character being introduced? Oh, this musical's gonna suck. And I mean that in like the way of it's gonna suck to watch because it's gonna hurt, not because I think it's going to be low quality. I thought Orpheus and Eurydice were just part of the story. Like, I thought it was gonna be telling some different, like, stories. Oh no. If they're just introducing that combination of gods and just introducing Orpheus and Eurydice as the only non-god characters from the start, this is just an adaptation of the Orpheus and Eurydice tragedy. Why do you guys do this to me? Why do you make me hurt?
It's a love song. It's a love song. It's a tale of a love from long ago. Sad song. Sad song. But we're gonna sing it in a soul.
What was that line? I'm impressed with myself. This animatic does not have captions, and that's the first line I haven't understood. Any of you who've been on the channel before know that's an accomplishment.
Sad song. But we're gonna sing it in a soul.
We're gonna sing to the souls? Is that what that says? Someone let me know in the comments.
It's an old tale from way back when. And we're gonna sing. We're gonna sing. We're gonna sing it again.
Holy cow, Hermes! Whoa! Dang, dude. That was awesome. Ooh, what a good voice there. That was fantastic. Oh, this is going to be the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. Well, don't click off yet because we are actually, as you probably know from the thumbnail, I am going to check out the second song. We've got time left in my recording for this. But I also, and don't just skip ahead, I want to mention to you guys something real quick. I really don't want to just experience this show like really, really slowly week by week. So I'm going to do something a little bit different with this one, where I'm actually going to be recording videos faster than they are releasing on YouTube. My current plan is to record 3 to 4 videos every 2 weeks. And so what that means is by the time the second video of this series comes out, like the video after this one, by the time it hits YouTube, I'm probably like 3 to 4 songs ahead of that, or 3 to 4 videos ahead of that over on the Patreon. So if you want to support and see things super early, like I said, I don't want to like forget things because it's been multiple months since. And I also had kind of an issue with 6 where like as I got to the end of 6, I was kind of having that like, you know, like the end of show blues when you like get to the end of something beautiful and it feels hard to start something new. I think that's part of why it was so hard for me to start Hadestown, even though I was excited for it. So by doing this, I am getting content out to the Patreon faster. So if you want to catch up sooner, definitely consider joining me over there. B means that I am going to get to experience the show faster and will probably forget less and miss less. But C, it also means that I will probably finish recording my reactions probably a good 2 months before the series actually finishes on the channel, which will give me time to like recover from it, process it, appreciate it, and actually be ready to hop right onto the next thing after. So that's my plan for this. 3 to 4 videos every 2 weeks. So Patreon, you're just going to get further and further and further ahead each time. If you're not already there, consider joining. That's enough yapping though, because we have to get to what's next Any way the wind blows. Fascinating. All right, let's get on into it. This animatic, by the way, is from the same person, Murky Mosito. We're going to check out Any Way the Wind Blows. Let's see it.
Eurydice was a hungry young girl, a runaway from everywhere she'd ever been. She was no stranger to the world, no stranger to the wind.
Weather ain't.
Well, that's... What are these... like...
No stranger to the wind.
No stranger, that's a beautiful lyric, but...
Weather ain't the way it was before. Ain't no spring or fall at all anymore.
This very hey, no spring at all, there's something before. Like the na 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 na. It's very like speak singy. It's so unique. Oh.
It's either blazing hot or freezing cold.
That's how weather works.
The wind blows. And there ain't a thing that you can do when the weather takes a turn on you, except for hurry up and hit the road. Anyway, the wind blows. Wind comes up. Ooh. Do you hear that sound? Wind comes up. Move to another town.
Hold on. Listen to this structure here.
Comes up. Ooh. Do you hear that?
The wind comes up. Ooh. But like those harmonies are so squishy. Like the like that. Ooh. This is great.
Wind comes up. Ooh. Do you hear that sound? Wind comes up. Move to another town. Ain't nobody gonna stick around when the dark clouds roll. Anyway, the wind blows.
You met
The Fates being like the sort of Greek chorus here is fascinating. Almost serving a similar like purpose as the Muses from Hercules, but it being the Fates this time. Like the three women in charge of fate itself being the ones as your background singers is horrifying.
Fates, remember?
Roll. Anyway, the wind blows.
You met the Fates, remember them?
Anybody got a match?
Always singing in the back of your mind.
Give me that.
Wherever it was this young girl went, the Fates were close behind.
Interesting. So the fact that they're like singing in the back of her mind, the fact that they are providing the background vocals for this is theoretically indicating that like they are actually behind her. They're influencing everything they do just with their presence, with their voice.
People turn on you just like the wind. Everybody is a fair weather friend. In the end,
Whoa. If you don't know what that means, a fair weather friend is a term for someone who is only there when it's convenient. Like a fair, basically being like, it's someone, like it's called a fair weather friend. Because it's like, oh, I would be there for you, but it's too hot. I would be there for you, but it's snowing. Like a fair weather friend is like, oh, only if it's the most convenient are they there for you. And as soon as there's any hardship, as soon as there's any bad climate, they're not there for you anymore. That's what that lyric means, and that's dope.
it's a fair just like the wind.
Wait, come on. What is that?
People turn on you just like the wind.
People turn on you just like the wind when we've already gotten established that the wind is representing the voice of the Fates. Ah!
Everybody is a fair weather friend. In the end, you're better off alone. Anyway, the wind blows. When your body aches to lay it down,
God, the Fate harmonies always coming out of nowhere and they're so good.
There ain't enough to go around. Ain't no leg to which a girl won't go. Anyway, the wind blows. Wind comes up.
And sometimes you think
Wind comes up.
you would do anything just to fill your belly full of food. Find a bed that
I guess you could say that in the case of the dear Eurydice, that hunger is so heavy.
you could belly full of food. Find a bed that you could fall into.
Poor
where
girl.
the weather wouldn't follow you.
Oh,
Wherever you go, anyway, the wind blows.
Now Orpheus was the son of a muse, and you know how those muses are. Sometimes they abandon you. And this poor boy, he wore his heart out on his sleeve. You might say he was naive to the ways of the world. But he had a way with words, and a rhythm and a rhyme. And he sang just like a bird up on a line. And it ain't because I'm kind, but his mama was a friend of mine. And I like to hear him sing, and his way of seeing things.
his mother was a friend of mine. I like to hear him sing and his way of hearing things. That was a lot of time without a pause, but I was just so enraptured in the story, and there wasn't a lot interesting musically for me to comment on. So wow.
So I took him underneath my wing.
Orpheus and Hermes were like directly... I didn't know
And
that.
that is where he stayed. Until one day.
Interesting. Well, I am so glad that I don't have to wait to see what happens next. And if you join patreon.com/Mortius, neither do you, because I'm hopping right on into the next recording after this one. And patrons get it as soon as I record it. Like literally, I'm going to finish these 3 recordings and get them straight uploaded to the drive, to a Google Drive for my editor and to Patreon for my patrons. So thank you guys so much for all of you who support me over there. This is a very, very different than I expected it to be. This is a lot different of a tone. The sort of jazzy, gospel-y vibe was like just... The only song I've heard from this does not sound like these first couple songs so far. So just the musicality, the culture, everything being represented here is truly just so fascinating. So I am really looking forward to hopping into the next one here. Like I said, for you folks on Patreon, I'll see you in like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And for you folks on YouTube, I will see you in a week. We will be doing these recurring every single week. So thank you for being here. If you haven't, I am following... Oh! I so forgot to mention in the intro. I'm so sorry. I want to give a big thank you to a fan... community member and patron of me and Casper, Jaden, for assembling this playlist for me and kind of helping guide me through the beginning. For the most part, I'm going to be sticking right to their playlist. If I get a lot of comments really requesting a specific animatic or to really put a couple songs in order that aren't currently the way it's listed out, I will consider it. But for the most part, that is how I'm planning. So thank you so much, Jaden, for helping out with that. But definitely let me know in the comments anything I should know that isn't a spoiler, anything you want me to keep in mind, any songs you really think need to be together in the same recording, or just anything you think could be better, I guess. It's a weird way to phrase it, but just, this is a new series, probably bringing in a new audience, so I want to know what you guys think. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you again to my patrons for making videos like this possible, and as always, gals, blokes, and all other folks, I will see you in the next video. Bye!